Doing all right? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We'll go ahead and call to order the Board of Trustees of the City of Bloomington Township regular meeting on Monday, October the 27th. If you please stand for our Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. And Madam Clerk, if you take the roll, please.
Maybe. Okay. Trustee Kearns? Here. Trustee Mosley?
Here.
Trustee Motney is absent. Trustee Dannenberger?
Here.
Trustee Straza?
Here.
Trustee Hendricks?
Here.
Trustee Ward? Here. Trustee Lee?
Here.
Trustee Scott?
Here.
Trustee Brady?
Here. Next, we will move on to public comment. Do we have any members or any individuals who
We don't have anyone
Comment.
registered for township public
Okay.
comment.
Okay, thank you very much. Then we'll move to the consent agenda. And under the consent agenda of item 5, is there any trustees wishing to pull an item from that consent agenda or have discussion on it?
I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
I'll second.
Motion by Member Hendricks, motion by, seconded by Member Ward. We have a vote.
Vote is live. I apologize. The motion is to approve the consent agenda as presented, not what's showing on the screen.
Motion is for the presentate or to present.
On the screen, it
That's
says
the
motion
agenda?
to approve the item as
Consent agenda?
presented, but the motion is to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Have the votes been recorded?
Yes.
Okay.
No needs to announce.
Thank you. Item is the regular agenda then, and item or number 6. And the first is item A, the consideration and action to approve the estimated fiscal year 2026 tax levy for tax year 2025 as requested by the township. And I believe our township supervisor will speak to the item, please.
Our levy has not changed. I believe this is the 8th year. We do not capture the EAV. We work with what we have. We are remaining at $2,351,600. We did transfer some money from general town over to the general assistance program because with the climate as it is today with healthcare, we're anticipating some increases. And I'll explain a little bit about one of the programs that is going to potentially affect us as we move forward with the agenda.
Okay. Are there trustees that have questions of our supervisor? Seeing none, then we'll go ahead
Do you
and
have a question?
vote
No, I
on
was
that
just-
item. You want to take them all together?
We'll do them individually.
Okay.
We need a motion and a second.
Motion
I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
by Member Hendricks, seconded
Second.
by Member Straza. Take the vote.
Trustee Brady, how do you vote? No nays to announce.
Okay, motion carries. Then the next item, I believe, is number B under the regular agenda. If you'd like to speak to that.
The loss control policy is being put in place. We have not had one, although we've occasionally had a claim to TORMA. The last one that just happened most recently was a workfare participant at our workfare site, the warehouse. It is not something that was done because of neglect on it. It was more of a medical issue. And so the person is fine. But the TORMA representative came by with a booklet of training tools. And so I just decided to put this into a policy so that we continue to do this each year and go over those steps to prevent injury. So.
Are there questions or comments from trustees of the supervisor regarding that matter?
Question. I have a question.
Member Mosley?
So in there, it talked about risk assessments. Will you guys conduct your own risk assessments or will you have third parties come in annually or?
No, we'll
every
just
couple
assess
years?
it with TORMA.
Okay.
They're really good about communicating and working with us. It's been a really good experience to have TORMA as our risk management company.
Any other comments from trustees or questions? Okay. If not, go ahead and take the vote if we would.
We need a motion and a second.
And
Motion
Motion.
to move.
seconded by
Second.
Member Mosley. Okay,
Voting's open. Trustee Brady, how do you vote? Motion passes, no nays to announce.
okay, thank you. And then there's also reports now by our elected officials. If you go first. All right,
Yeah, it's a couple things. There's a real big issue with Illinois SNAP benefits that are not going to go out in November. I'm sure you've all heard about that. I did speak with Midwest Food Bank to see if we could be a host site for distribution, but they have their sites available. They don't have any desire or any plans to move in any other direction other than that. So we rely on those sites that exist today and those additional pantries, and one of them is at Mount Pisgah. So we thank you for that. And I think that it's going to be critical to have these sites available at all times because, you know, in the state of Illinois, there's going to be 2 million residents that don't have this source for food for their families. So we'll support any way we can.
questions?
Yeah, just a comment. I think it might be useful if we aren't already doing this on the township and the city websites to have very prominent listings of those.
I am working on that now, actually.
Awesome.
I already called PATH because Midwest Food Bank suggested that. And they have the site on the map, but we have a listing of those at our township. However, the most current listing probably isn't there, and I'm pulling it off of the map today,
Mhm.
trying to list them into an Excel spreadsheet so that we can distribute that
Yeah,
readily.
Any way that we could
Mhm.
make that known, I think would be really useful and have it in lots of different forms of media
Absolutely agree with you. That's why I've been working on
and
it.
languages, as
True,
Councilmember Hendricks just said.
absolutely.
Any other?
I have one more
Right.
thing about that. There's also, for SNAP, they're reinstating the 20-hour work week or 20 hours of work obligation per week. So I've already drawn up an intergovernmental agreement and we've met with Department of Human Services to actually participate together for worksite responsibilities instead of duplicating our work responsibilities, but coordinate them together. So that's working very well.
You mentioned 2 million people in the state of Illinois. Do you have a round sense of how many people that would include in our local area?
I do not. I do not. Not yet.
Comments or questions from trustees of our supervisor?
I have one more thing to talk about too.
Go right ahead.
So, one good news, we have our SCSEP, which is Senior Community Service Employment Program. So we had 4 individuals at our work fair site. In July, they shut it down. No funding for it anymore. Well, that was just reinstated today. So one person's back and another one's coming tomorrow, and then we're trying to get 2 more. So it benefits the older adults that are sometimes discriminated against in terms of finding employment. So it gives, the federal government pays, and I think I've explained that before, but the federal government pays for somebody to work at minimum wage for agencies, nonprofit agencies, and government agencies as well. And so we utilize that a lot for consistency at our Potts Warehouse program so that we have consistent individuals coming each day, whereas with the workfare participants, it's less consistent. So we're happy about that. Now,
Trustees, any questions? Trustee Hendricks.
Do we have a time frame? Is that just going to continue indefinitely or?
the work program?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
okay. I'm just wondering.
Wish I knew. It hit us like a brick.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Okay.
And now it's at least, I'm feeling like for their fiscal year, which I'm not even sure what their fiscal year is. Ours is April 1 to March 31st, but I'm hoping to plan through that next year, I hope.
I was going to say, if that's something that long-term we need to be thinking about, what can we help do if it, if we talk about the tax levy or whatever, so that we're not so reliant, if we need to start building in that fashion to try to.
Well,
pick up some of that.
I did get very vocal about it to legislators, and through the SCSEP program, they requested additional letters in writing. Next time I'll make sure you're involved in that. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions by other trustees? If not, that concludes your remarks. Great, thank you. Report from our assessor.
Only thing to report on is the appeal deadline for your property tax assessment is Wednesday, October 29th. All the paperwork has to be submitted to the county in order to get your assessment reviewed for the year 2025. Anything else will be carried over into 2026.
Trustees? Trustee Scott?
Yeah, I wanted to say thank you to our assessor who spent an hour with me at the end of a Friday last week going through all this. And I got a math background and it was still a challenge. So I appreciate just all that effort. And as we get questions and stuff from folks, are there ways that people can either mathematically inclined or not mathematically inclined, learn about that or ask questions, or can you expand on the appeal process a little bit?
Well, the main thing is assessment in Illinois is 1/3 of market value, which gets confusing. So on the assessment notice that everyone receives, they put a market value on your property. And if that number is a number that you think your property would sell for, then your assessment should be fair. If you think that number's out of line, typically on the high end is where we get the complaints. On the low end, we don't hear much about, but if they're over that number, then we hear the complaints. So if you think your assessment's out of line, then file the complaint and get it into the county.
Any other trustees, members who have questions or comments? Is there anything else that our trustees, our supervisors and assessors would like to discuss? Okay, if not, thank you very much for your reports and the agenda. And if I could get a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion by Member Hendricks, seconded by Member Ward. And we'll conclude then with the
All in
vote.
favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
At 5:44 PM. We'll conclude the meeting of the Bloomington Township trustees. Thank you. Also, it looks like prior to our council meeting, we have a nice representation from members and Friends of Mount Pisgah Church, and I'd ask them to come forward. We'll take a photograph here. We have such a large group for anyone who wants to be in it, and any members of the council that would like to join us for that picture. We'll stand maybe right up in front and ask our clerk to take a photograph. So anyone who wants to come forward for the proclamation that will be presented here in our meeting in a few minutes, please do so.